Hello and welcome to the very first Python programming class. Today we are going to learn about file concepts in Python. So we are going to read about how to read a file, write data into it or append data into it. So let's start with it. We start with open, and we've put the file name which is notes.txt, and we are going to write the data into it. For our first program, we store it as a file. So whatever the data is there in the file, we have created an object for it called file. Now we are just going to write something into it. So there are inbuilt methods for file type objects in Python like .write. So now let's say whatever we want to write in the file, hello, how are you? And let's say I want to give a next line and write something in the next line. So I just give a /n, and in the next line I'll be writing I'm good. Okay, so this is a very basic program, and I'll just close the files. We'll read the data, what that particular file contains. So notes.txt. Yeah, so the file is empty, otherwise we would see some content here. Let's save our program, run our program, python programming.py. Yep. So we have completed running our program. Let's check the data in the file. So now you see the data is being added and next line is also working fine. Let's open the file. So you can see that the content is written there. So we are done with this. What exactly happens is we are using with statement, and there is an open method in Python. We are using w, which is used to write into a file. So this is the syntax of it: open, file name, and the functionality you want to perform on that. We store that variable, or we store that pointer to a variable called file. So now Python knows that this file pointer is for notes.txt and we want to write something in it. So you can see we are doing file.write and whatever the data we want to put into the file, and the data is here. So the very first thing is done. Now let's go ahead with the read statement. I would like to read the data. So read is very simple, pretty simple. We are going to use a method called file.read. In the previous one we used write. So let's do that, file.read, and we'll print the whatever the content is there. So let's print it and let's see. The content should be same whatever is there in notes.txt. We run our program and you can see the content of that file is being printed here. So that's how easy the read statement is. Again, we are passing notes.txt to the open function with a read kind of you can say functionality. Store the data, store the that particular value in the file. There is one more thing which is called append. Let's start with that. So I would want to add something to this file. So that is append functionality. Let's see how we can add it. So since it is append, we are again going to use write. So file.write, and let's say I want to add something which is like, this is new data added, and I want to add this into a new line. So I'll just give /n in starting itself. Save it, run the program, open the file, reload it, and let's see. So the content is added to the file. That's why we used a. If we do w, let's see what it does to the current file if we are using w. So this is the data we want to add, but we are writing it. So let's see what it does. It should rewrite the whole file. So exactly, it rewrites the whole file. So that is the difference between write and append, because write will also create a new file, completely new file, removes the previous data and writes the new data. As the name suggests, append is used to append the data. Now let's say I want to copy data from one file to another. Let's say notes.txt contains this statement which is called, this is a temp file, please feel free to delete this. delete it. All right, that's fine. So we have created notes.txt. Now I open notes2.txt and you can see the file is empty. We are going to copy the content from notes.txt to notes2.txt. Okay, we'll use the same functionality with open. We want to open the notes.txt which contains the data in read statement in read format, because we want to read the content from notes.txt and put it in notes2.txt. So notes.txt will be in the read state, and we do comma as source, comma open. Now we are going to write notes2.txt and with a write statement, because we want to write data into it, as target. So I'll just increase the size of it so it fits into the one single line. Here we go. Okay. We do the same stuff for line in source, because we are reading the data from the notes.txt and its value is stored into source. So we iterate over that. Now we want to write line by line whatever we are reading into notes2.txt. So let's go ahead with that. What we are going to do is we're going to use target, and we are going to write into the target line by line. So that's it. We read from notes.txt, writes into notes2.txt, and we can see notes2.txt is empty. Save it, reload it, and we see the data which is there. So we have seen how we can copy the data from one file to another. To make it more simpler, as of now you can see the comma separated two statements. So we are doing with, we are opening the first file, we are opening the second file, and doing stuff simultaneously. To make it understand better, we can also do kind of just use nested statements. So in the very first statement, now we open the file in the read format, and once it is opened, we open another file called notes2.txt in the write format, because we want to write in it. So first we read, put data into source. Second statement, we open our destination file, put the reference into target, and then we iterate over our source and write the data into target. So this is another way of writing the same code and just do the same thing. That's all for today's first lecture about Python files. Thank you.